For our video today, I'm gonna be rigging for this time. It's kind of weird. Summertime's usually longtail tuna time for us here, and there's a lot of schoolie longtail tuna. The problem occurs from time to time, but it's there, and just for that time we actually rig and carry around one specific combo for this particular occurrence, and we use jigs that are from 80 to 200 grams. 200 is about the maximum that you're gonna use, and today we're gonna rig the 200. But the thing is, this is highly situational, but it's always good to have a jig like this. As you can see, it's kind of compact. This is a copy of the Gomoku Slim, but this particular jig, the 200, and slim and kind of compact. So you want to jig something that's like this. What you want is to have something like this, so that when the drift is actually fast, this goes down to where the fish are, and usually this is only used after determining how deep the fish are, or when you see in the sounder and then your drift is kind of fast. But in ideal conditions, we usually use anywhere between 80 to 150 grams. Okay, so this time I'm gonna rig a 200 just so I have at least one in the box. For this particular rig, we will be using the Jigger Medium from Jigger Medium Chase from Owner, and you might recognize this as a hook that we use a lot for slow jigging. But this is a medium wired hook. In fact, Owner makes a lot of their fast jigging hooks using this particular one. This particular hook model. Okay, so perfect for this kind of use, and I believe this one is actually kind of an excess when we made some assist hooks before. So just perfect that we could use it. We are using PFZ05 from Owner, and this is 140 pounds. We are going to splice, so let's go ahead and do that. This is mine, so I am going to go ahead and rig this up. Take one of my take one of my rings. Alright, so we're going to be using this ring, splice with a needle here. Put on. So this is actually a very easy cord to work with. As you can see there. Okay, there's a bit of excess, and I'm not too worried when it comes to this because at the end of the day, for this particular cord, it is easy to work with, and yeah, actually a joy to work with. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we are going to stab the cord like so, put it in the middle. This is kind of a traditional way just to make it a bit more secure. Okay, as soon as we have that, all we need to do is cut a tag here. Just leave a little bit of that, and then make sure secure it like so, and then all we need to do is lash. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do that with this red cord, and what I will do is put a bit here up front, we will bring this up there and start our wrap. So the first wrap just basically binds everything down like so. And then before we commit, see exactly where it sits. As you can see, that sits well there. Now remember that on a fast jig you'll have a split ring here to connect, so that would sit just over there, just near the halfway point of the jig, and that's what we want. Okay, so I'm going to bring you in closer so that you see the work. Okay, now you might hear the fan because summer is approaching, fast approaching I may say, and it's starting to heat up. So it's gonna get kind of noisy. You're gonna hear the fan, otherwise I'm gonna be sweating bullets and I don't like that. Not gonna be a fun time. Okay, so there we go. So you can see this is very tight. Okay, very tight. That. So single hook rigs, for this particular purpose, we only use single hook rigs because it's run and gun and it's quite fast. And what happens is that if you have more than one hook, you can catch them with slow jigs. I have proven that. But if you have more than one hook, because the deck is going to be very busy with the fish being landed, hooks being taken off, you don't want more than one hook because it delays the unhooking process, and more importantly, the safety gets compromised. Safety on the boat gets compromised, and you don't want that to happen. So okay, so that's done. So you can see that's pretty good. Now we are going to cover that with this, but again, like I always say, it is not an excuse for you to do a sloppy job. So always do a good job even if you're gonna cover it. And in this instance, of course, we're gonna cover this, but we're still gonna um, glue. We're still gonna glue the the wraps. So what I'm doing now is just making sure that this hook is protected, and even if I'm covering it, I am making sure that the wraps are well glued and it's not tied on sloppily. So like that. Okay, and as you can see there, that's epoxied and or super glued, and it is very clean. I could leave this as is and I'd be happy with it, but I want to cover this. Okay, so we zap this. That glue is dry. It's a bit of whitening there, which you could just wipe off with our fingers, no issues. Now, just take our shrink tube. I believe this is from Cultiva as well. Okay, I am going to put this there so that it's covered. Okay, and I'm going to zoom you out. Okay, and then I have found that if you use a blue flame for this, it's actually better and cleaner. So do that. The best is actually a heat gun. If you don't have a heat gun, this suffice. Just don't hit it directly. There we go. As you can see, that is very clean. Okay, and if you actually use a lighter, it will turn kind of black. And you know if you actually hit it correctly because it becomes shiny, not dull. And if it's dull, it means that you haven't hit the that area with enough heat. But that is it. Okay, that is the hook assembly right there. Now let's go ahead and see how it looks like assembled. Again, as a reminder for fast jigs, the split ring is not load bearing. There are some people that spend a lot of money on split rings and they do that for both fast jigs and slow jigs, but kind of immaterial when it comes to fast jigs. But you know, if you want the extra security, go right ahead. That is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. If it helps you sleep at night, as they say. Okay. Difficult. Now let's use the Cultiva split ring pliers. There we go. Much better. Okay. and it is done. As you can see there, it sits in a very good position. Ready for the tuna. Alright, so if you have questions, drop in the comment section. If you learned something from this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet and you want to learn more, click on that subscribe button. If you want your friends to learn with you, go ahead and share the video. That's it for now. I'll see you in the next one.